What's up, guys? It's your girl, my Linda, coming to you with another video. Today we're doing a story time. Let's get into it.
My heart, you're 1 in a million. But why?
So this story time is gonna be about how I got catfished. And yes, this is a true story, okay? Like, literally just happened to me. Can't believe it. Still in shock. And I think y'all gonna be in shock with me, okay? So how it all happened was about 4 or 5 months ago. I was on TikTok and I got into a live with one of like the girls that I was following. Shout out to Melanie, that is my girl, okay? She my good Judy. So it's me, her, this girl Ayana, this other girl D. I'm just gonna give her D because I have not talked to her and I don't know if she want her name out here, so we just gonna call her D. And then there's another group of people that go into the lives with us every day, so yeah, shout out to them too. Y'all already know y'all are. Anyways, so let's get into it. So basically I jumped into Mel's live and Mel was basically talking about like her life and like how things are going, kind of like relationship stuff and kind of things that we can all just piggyback off of, or whatever. So the conversations was pretty much like that all the time. And Ayana was in the live and she told us that she was a therapist. And then of course D would talk about her life and I would talk about mine, and was like, we just became like a little sisterhood, like a little group of women who talked to each other every single day. It was fun. And I would say probably like a month or two in, Jackie and Ayana announced that they were having a baby. So of course we were all super excited because like it was our first TikTok baby. Like it doesn't get any better than that. And Jackie is Ayana's girlfriend. That's what we were under the impression of. They didn't get on as like separate accounts. They got on as just one joint account, which is fine. A lot of people do that all the time, so we didn't like think anything of it. And so like months later we find out like, you know, they're having a baby and all this stuff, and they were like, yeah, we're at the hospital now, like everything is good, the delivery was perfect, all this stuff. So we're thinking that like one point we pissed them off or something because they went missing. Like they literally, there was no communication, no nothing. Mel tried to reach out to them I don't know how many times just to see how the baby was and see how they were doing. And then we were just like, okay, we understand that like once you have a child, it's kind of difficult to like do your norm. Like people get tired all the time, all this stuff. So we understood. And what do good Judies do? We just let our good Judies come back when they want to come back. That's what we do. So about, I want to say a week ago, 2-3 weeks ago, I don't know, one of them weeks, Ayana comes back. And at first we didn't know who this person was because they actually came back and they had a profile picture and all this stuff. And we had never seen Ayana like in a picture because her picture that she had previously was kind of like, I think it was like a fairy or something like that. I can't remember. But she came back and we were like surprised and we asked her like, how's the baby going, all this stuff. And of course we just want to know how our good Judy was doing. So what did she do? She spills the tea. And y'all, I need y'all to clutch y'all pearls because the information that she provided to us made us cry all night. So she told us that The baby that she had with Jackie, they went through the IVF process, and that apparently at some point Jackie slept with her brother, and that messed up the IVF process. So instead of her baby being from IVF, her baby was actually from her brother. So her daughter was actually her niece. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, like, we can't believe this happened to you. Like, we hope that you are okay. Like, because we cared. We really, really cared. And she said she was doing fine. Like, everything was good. Like, she just, you know, coped with it. And she took time away from social media. So she, like, told us all of that. And we were like, okay, now that makes sense. Like, why you weren't, you know, so active and all this stuff. And I want to say Memorial Day weekend is when a lot of stuff started to change for us. It was very weird. I will tell you that. It was so freaking weird, y'all. So I want to say that, was it Friday? That Friday was fine. I don't know if anybody went live that night, because normally it's either me or Mel, because now I can go live. So before it was just Mel, period. She would be the only one that goes live. But I don't know if we went live that Friday. We could have, I just can't remember. But I do know that Saturday, I was like, I want to go out of town. I want to go hang out with my good Judy in Minneapolis. So let me do that. So I went to Minneapolis and I hung out with my friend. And that night I went live because I was like, I'm drinking and I want to go live with my people. So what do? I go live. And everybody was in there. All of our good Judies was in there, except one. And then all of the guys that we talk to every day that be in our lives or in Mel's lives, they were in there too, you know, making fun of me. And everybody was just clowning me because I was under the influence of alcohol. But it was good. It was fun. It was a fun night. So everybody was telling me that I needed to slow down on drinking. Ayana was in there. She was telling me, like, you don't need to be drinking, girl. Like, you need to go to rehab. Like, all this stuff, like, just making fun of me. And so the next day, which was that Sunday, I got on live and I was like, I feel like crap, but I am alive. And I wanted to let y'all guys know that I was okay. And it was kind of earlier in the day, so like not many people were in the live. So it was just the good Judies. And I'm like, we need to have like a good Judy group chat. Like, what are we doing? So we ended up jumping off live and we took it into text messages because like we needed to have a group chat. Why not? So we got it set up right away. And that is really when everything changed. So I want to say about 4 or 5 o'clock Sunday, Memorial Day weekend, I got text messages back to back. I'm like, who is blowing up my phone? So I look at the phone and it's Ayana. It's in our group chat and she's saying stuff, but I'm not understanding where it's coming from or whatever. And that's because I was not a part of the live. So Mel had went live, but I did not get notified. So I just didn't go on there. And I also wasn't feeling well. So I was kind of annoyed at the whole situation or whatever. But yeah. So Mel went live and she was basically, I don't know what the conversation was. Let's be honest. I don't know what the conversation was. I just know that there was like text messages that was going off. So I then want to say, because I was with the people that I was visiting, like I wasn't too busy being on my phone and I really wasn't even talking to them because I was so like, I was dehydrated, I was tired, hungry. Like if you know me when I'm hungry, and you know, like I was so annoyed. So I get home, we get home to my friend's house. I finally go in, lay down, right? I lay down, I'm like, yes, I'm about to go to sleep. Everything's gonna be good, okay? I want to say about 15 minutes in, I'm finally dozing off. My watch goes off. And I'm like, oh my God, who could this possibly be? So I ignored it. Because I was like, whatever. So another notification came in. I'm like, okay, here's another text message. So now I'm looking because I'm like, okay, what could this possibly be? The first text message was from Ayana and it says, how old are you guys? Okay, that's like it's very much like, oops, I forgot type of text message, right? So Mel tells her age, and then I didn't respond because I said this is not important, so I went back to sleep. And then the phone started going off again, and I'm sitting here like, who could this be? But I already knew it was a group chat. But of course, me being me, I'm like, why does this keep happening? Like, if you just want me up, just say that. Okay. So I'm sitting there like, okay. So the next message comes through and it says, how are you 36 years old? How are you 36-year-old women sitting here talking to my 14-year-old daughter? What? I was confused. Mel was confused. We were confused. So I think Mel sent the text message like, huh? And then I sent the text message, who is 14? I'm so lost. And then Mel was like, me too, girl. Because she thought when we like ended up connecting and talking about the whole situation, she thought me and Ayana was joking with her. Like, girl, I did not have time for that. I was over there trying to sleep. Like, no, I did not conduct this. I did not put this together. It was not an idea that I had. Okay? It wasn't any of that. So the girl mom is basically saying that we don't know who her daughter is, which she was right. We absolutely did not know who her daughter was because her daughter had told us a whole bunch of lies, okay? A whole bunch of lies. Some BS is what we were provided. Yeah. So she was like, you don't know who my daughter is. My daughter is 14 years old. You grown women don't need to be talking to my daughter. And what's crazy is when we were all like exchanging numbers and doing all that stuff, Ayana has sent a picture of herself. And I was like, girl, you look young. Because she did. She looked young. And Mel was like, you do look young. But it didn't raise no red flags for us because she ended up responding with, girl, I get that a lot. I'm so tired of people saying that. And I just kind of like just brushed it off or whatever because of the simple fact that like my mom, like if you've ever seen her, she is young and she's in her 40s. Like she looks super young and she's in her 40s. Mel looks super young and she's in her 30s. So it's kind of like you can't really just look at somebody and be like, that's a baby. She could have like some type of growth deficiency or something. Like, we don't know. We just gotta go with what people telling us. And next time we should probably do background checks because this is a whole mess. So yeah, she basically was telling us like we don't know her daughter. Her daughter is 14 years old. This is the year that she was born. Like all this stuff. So I was like, okay, Miss Ma'am. Your daughter's the one who lied to us. It's not like we told her to lie. Like if we would have known that she was 14 years old, we would have never had a conversation with her. Because in our lives, children cannot be in there because we have adult conversations. So if you are not above the age of 18, you should not be in those lives. And if we do find out, then you will get blocked and not be added back. Like you wouldn't even be able to follow us at that point. So it was really given like, why are you trying to convert my daughter? Like, and we wasn't, like, we just didn't even know that she was that age because she had told us that she was 26 years old. She told us that she was a therapist, that she had a whole girlfriend, that she had a baby, and that her baby was supposed to be her niece. This is the information she was providing to us. So we were confused, okay? So what do we do next? We go to live. Because what is a good day without going on live? So we basically informed everybody, like, if you're friends with Ayana and you are trying to, like, know who she really is, like, this is the real her. She's 14. Like, we're all adults, so go ahead and block. So we did. And yeah, we haven't heard from her, but that's literally, like, that was the first time I ever in my life got catfished. And I was like, woo, child. I was not expecting that on this day. It was too much and too soon. And if I can find the text messages, I'm definitely gonna post them on here, because that was a hot mess. Like, the entire day she was telling me to drink Pedialyte and do all this stuff, and I'm like, I've never met a 14-year-old girl who knew anything about Pedialyte. Because when I was 14, I was playing outside, I was doing kid stuff, playing with Barbie dolls still. Pedialyte, how do you know that's gonna solve a hangover? Like, your daughter is too grown. And on top of that, the girl she talking about she had a whole baby and then came up with this whole story. Like, at this point, we really need to get her on television. Like, for real. Because she's an actress. She had a whole therapist. She didn't have a whole therapist. She was the therapist. And she had a whole assistant on top of the therapist. Like, the whole, like, what? Like, I'm 23 and I'm still trying to be established. Like, how you got all this going on? Ugh, it just irritates my soul thinking about it, because, like, how did you put that together just to hang? Like, you really don't got a lot of hang. You just won't be invited to the party. Like, that's it, that's all. But yeah, that was literally my story of being catfished. For anybody that's gonna be commenting talking about some, oh, you shouldn't have released their real names, she shouldn't have catfished me. Next question. Okay, nobody got next question? All right, that's what I thought. Because yeah, you don't do that to people, and it's reckless. And then the mom had the audacity to get an attitude with us like we did something wrong to her. Like, no, your daughter is out of control, especially if she can come up with elaborate stories like that and making people cry on live. Like, telling her stories and making people cry, you know? But you live and you learn, and we learned that we can't trust nobody on the internet, which we had already knew previously. But because we had all got so close, we just was so, like, all I know is if a serial killer walked through this goddamn door right now, at least it'll be on video. I'm sorry, I heard noise, and I don't play about noise, especially when I'm in this room. And I know the cats are out there, so they could be getting into something, but like, I'm so dead. The casting got into something. Hello? I'm making a YouTube video. You can still be here though. I'm about to sign off.
It's cool, you coming back. I just returning your phone.
I'm literally about to sign off. So just give me like 2 seconds.
So why the hell you didn't tell me you was making a YouTube video?
Just so you didn't say nothing reckless, because I know your mouth. Alright guys, so that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope y'all don't ever get catfished. And if you've ever been catfished, you know, sound off in the comments. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my next videos. I love you guys. Peace.
Ain't no drama, we just tryna have a good time. Me and my girls stepping out in the